are you doing that again?
Well, I know, Mom. Well, hey guys, we are at the Missionary Bark Chapel. So, looking at the creepy mannequins, but we're going to the fort soon, so I'll get back to you then. Here we're at the Fort Mackinac, so try to show the cannon. There it is up there. We're gonna walk out there. Hey guys, I'm in Mackinac, Fort Mackinac, and we're going up the hill. We're not on the other side, but I will get back to you when we actually get up there. Okay, I'll see you in a minute.
We're on the other side of the wet swamp with a straight rammer. So they would have been straight in front of the cannon, loading 20 ounces of black powder, while their chest was right in front of the cannon. So that wasn't very safe. So we use this curved ramrod for safety reasons. Now Niall's going to step to the rear of the cannon and take out a brass spike or a gimlet. And he's going to drive that through the touch hole and try to poke a hole in our aluminum foil charge so our spark from our ignition device can reach it. Now our ignition device today is a friction primer. It is a historically accurate device. It was invented around the 1840s, so it would have been around when this cannon was first invented. And the way it works like a grenade and a rocket in one. You pull out this pin just like a hand grenade. And up here under the black is a friction-sensitive material, kind of like what you'd find on a straight anywhere match. And when you pull this out, the top is on fire, and then this tube is filled with very, very fine gunpowder that will light very quickly. So it'll explode down into our cannon. And hopefully with the hole that we poked into our aluminum foil charge, it'll set off our salute and produce a big bang for all of us. Now with that, it looks like we're about ready. I just need to warn all you folks that it is quite loud, so you'll need to find some earplugs. And with that, we're about to fire our cannon. And the two commands for that, they are, ready, fire! And that's our cannon salute to welcome you to Fort Mackinac today.
Hey guys, I'm in the East Blockhouse of Mackinac. So there's just other people, so
look at those. Let me wipe this little chew. How did you do it again? You look from the front. Thumb, you gotta pull it back, you gotta pull it back. Nope. Come on, Phelps, you're strong. You're just, I'm gonna put it out the window and then hold on to the barrel and load it out there.
that's it. Hey guys, we're in the post schoolhouse. Yeah. Really cool. Be back to you later.
We're here at Fort Mackinac, especially the morning the British and their Indian allies attacked us. The very first battle of the War of 1812. Oh my God, we're being invaded. There must be hundreds of them, Indians in redcoats, right at the edge of the woods. They look like they're ready to attack. Where'd they come from? Take cover! Take your places, men. Prime the cannon. Prepare to fire if they come closer. Oh, we're badly outnumbered. Only 60 of us in the fort. They've got hundreds. We can't survive an attack and protect the village. We're going to have to surrender. or be slaughtered trying to save this fort. What else can we do?
Oh. There's steam coming off that roof.
Mackinac.
We were just on there a little while ago. There's all that. There's city. Well, this is Father's Day today, actually, and we're here, and there's gonna be a parade, and the rifle demonstration's pretty soon, so we're gonna get that. And we're gonna get Fort Mackinac because that's where we're going to tomorrow. So I'll get back to you on the rifle demonstration. I'll show you more of the fort.
Brett, I'd like to welcome you all here to Fort Mackinac today. Joining me out here, I have Niall, Adam, and Peter, and we are the first 4 soldiers on duty here today. Before we step back and fire, I wanted to talk to you just a moment about military music. During the 1880s, music was a very important part of the soldiers' lives. At the time, we didn't have anything to communicate like a loudspeaker system or walkie-talkies, so we had to rely on loud instruments to do that. The original signaling instrument here at Fort Mackinac was actually the drum, probably something with which you're all pretty familiar. Soldiers would have to learn several different calls and learn to recognize those calls if they were played on the drum. But the drum has one flaw, in that it only gets one note. So sometimes the calls are a little bit hard to discern. And I'll show you what I mean by that. The first call I'm going to play for you is the emergency long roll. That would simply tell the men that there is an emergency, exactly right. So just a simple drum roll. But now compare that to the ceasefire call that would tell the men to stop firing their rifles. The drum roll is the maximum. Now if you can imagine being out on a battlefield, hearing a drum roll, wondering, well, is there an emergency or do I need to stop shooting? That's kind of a big deal. So the Army would settle on a melodic instrument called the fife. The fife is a flute-like instrument that gets a lot more notes than the drum, and it could play dozens of different calls. Everything from when to wake up in the morning, when to go eat, when to go to bed, all that kind of stuff. Or this call that I'm going to play for you that's called To the Color. It would tell the men that they needed to stop what they were doing, have it twice a day, and salute the flag as it's being raised or lowered. Color on the fife. You can tell a little bit more melodic than the drum, maybe easier for the men to hear. Now you can tell that I'm the musician, and the officers would have been able to find me easily to play one of those calls because my uniform is quite a bit different. I've got all this braiding across my chest here, and this double white stripe on the outside of my trouser leg. That denoted me as a musician. To tell you just a little bit more about the uniforms that we're wearing, I'm going to pass things over to Niall here today.
All right, thank you, Brett. Now you've probably noticed that I'm wearing a slightly different uniform than the rest of the fellows out here, but despite that fact, all 4 of us are dressed to represent soldiers from the 23rd Regiments of United States Infantry who would have been stationed here at Fort Mackinac between 1884 and 1890. Now during that time period, all soldiers were issued 2 different styles of uniform, and they weren't in fact allowed to possess any civilian clothing. So they were always wearing one of those uniforms, and probably the one that they would have worn the most often would be this one that I have on. This is what's called our undress uniform. It's what the soldiers would wear on a daily basis if they were just hanging around here in the fort or doing any of their daily work here. It's a very plain, very practical uniform when they didn't have to worry too much about keeping clean and keeping in good repair. Because it's very durable, it's all made of wool, and it probably looks a lot like a Union soldiers' Civil War uniform. We're only about 20 years past the Civil War in the 1880s, and so the Army had found a uniform back then that had worked, and they had really seen no reason to change it yet. Now in contrast, the uniform that the rest of the gentlemen behind me have on is a lot fancier. Now if this is the undress uniform, what do you suppose that is? The dress uniform, that's right. And that's basically like our formal wear. If there's any time we have to get dressed up for some sort of special event, a special ceremony, a wedding, a holiday, a funeral, Even if we were going to march in a parade, we would put on those dress uniforms because they're a lot fancier. And you can see they've got many more buttons, and probably the most striking feature of those dress uniforms is the tall, spiked helmet they're all wearing. Now that's an idea that we stole from the Prussians, who would later become a part of Germany. And during the 1880s, they were considered to have the best army in the entire world. So the United States Army, being pretty far from the best, decided we wanted to copy them. So we're copying not only their fashion, but also their tactics and organization. And so that's really all that helmet spike is. It's just a piece of military fashion. It's really decorative. It's like the top hat for our tuxedo. And it's really just there to make us look a little taller, more imposing. It's definitely not a weapon of any kind. You're ever going to see a soldier trying to impale someone on his helmet spike, because you would never wear your dress uniform in the battle. Try and keep that as clean as possible. The battlefield would be the last place you want to take it. But if we were going out into combat, we'd be wearing this undress uniform. We'd also be carrying one of these rifles. And I'm actually going to let Adam tell you just a little bit more about the rifle.
All right, thank you, Niall. The rifle that we're going to fire for you folks this morning is called the Springfield 4570. And this was first standard issue in 1873. It marked a pretty major advance for the U.S. Army because it was the first time the Army would ever standard issue a breech loading rifle. Everything loads in the back end. So unlike what you might have seen in a Civil War movie or anything earlier, we're not going to load anything up here through the muzzle end. This rod here is actually strictly there just for cleaning. We're not going to have to use that to load or anything. The loading process is actually very simple. All we have to do is pull this hammer back so it clicks twice. That's the half cock or safety position. It won't discharge when we pull the trigger. Flip open this breech block with a thumb and pull out a very modern brass cartridge. The cartridge itself is .45 caliber. It has 70 grains of black powder inside. That's where the rifle gets the name of 4570. All we have to do is slide this down into the breech, close the breech back up, cock the hammer back one more time. The rifle is ready to fire. Now, armed with a weapon like this, a soldier can be expected to fire about 12 to 13 aim shots a minute. Big improvement over the 2 to 3 shots you might expect to fire with a muzzle-loaded rifle. On top of that, this is also an exceptionally accurate weapon. It's capable of hitting targets up to 1,000 yards away. 1,000 yards is 10 football fields in length. It's over half a mile. As you can imagine, not every soldier was actually capable of making that shot, even though the rifle was. In the early 1880s, the Army decided to mandate a standard marksmanship training program for all of their soldiers. So everyone, including the cook and the captain, everyone in the team, would actually have to go out and practice with that rifle a couple times a week in the summer months. And here at Fort Mackinac, we actually had a full 1,000-yard target range. Some of those soldiers actually practiced so often on that 1,000-yard target range that it became known as some of the best shots of the entire Army at the time. One thing we're not sure about is whether or not those soldiers took any precautions out there on the firing line to protect their hearing. See, most of us putting in some historically inaccurate foam earplugs to help us deal with the noise, because these rifles are very, very loud. So you might want to locate your own historically accurate pair of earplugs right here at the end of your fingertips. They go in just like that. They'll do a fine job of protecting you from the sound when we step back and fire. Now with that, we're going to march back into position, fire 2 shots each for you. We hope you folks enjoy.
Squad, attention. Carry, arms. Assemble on the center, march. Squad, out. Face. Forward, march. Order, arms. Parade, rest.
Well, I hope that was loud enough for all you folks. Thank you for coming out to our rifle firing. If you have any questions about our rifles or would just want to take a closer look at them, they are original, so they are over 120 years old. Then we invite you down. We'd love to answer any of your questions, just chat about the rifles. And with that, our next demonstration will be at 11 o'clock. It'll be cannon firing at the top of the black stairs in the corner of the fort, followed by 2 tours. A walking tour about the soldier life here in the 1880s, and then a children's tour. And thank you, and I hope you folks enjoy the rest of this beautiful day here at Fort Mackinac.
Going to the hospital. Ooh.
But 4 years prior, when we first saw Dr. Cocaine, his cancer was already advanced. Dr. Wolcott's treatments were mainly to try to relieve the pain, which is all we could do. Today, breast cancer is a highly treatable and often curable disease if found early. But that is only possible with examination before symptoms such as pain occur. If found early, the cure rate with radiation, chemotherapy, and surgery often exceeds 80%. But if, like Captain Bliss, the patients are blessed, then today the outcome would not be very different. Proper treatment would provide better pain relief, but no better outcome.
Welcome to the post-hospital wardroom as it appeared in 1837. Presented here are 3 cases of post-surgeon Dr. Erastus B. Wolcott. Dr. Wolcott's words are drawn from his own accounts.
Private Thomas Welch is suffering from phthisis. He has remained in hospital since his arrival at Fort Mackinac 5 months ago. He had fixed pain in the region of the heart and a harassing cough.
It's not a ghost,
I was
guys.
able
It's
to
not a
relieve the
ghost.
most urgent symptoms, but the cough and indigestion continued for 2 months. He was in a state from which I did not think he would recover. I then followed a gentle, mercurial
Okay,
course
see you
for
guys.
6
Soldiers Barracks. With my mom. Hey guys, we are on Arch Rock right now. Got the excuse me. Yep, see you later, guys. People down there. Well, see you a little bit later. We're gonna go check out Fort Holmes and stuff like that. We'll get back to you. A little bit more soldier action, guys. More this time. I'll get to you if they start shooting. Hey guys, we're in the wood house or the wood quarters. There's a pool table, soldier right now. There's my mom. Keep going on. And there's some cheese dill pickles and there's some like wine and stuff. Always good. Sorry about the like noise and stuff. There's a little like band thing today. It's Father's Day. Kind of looks like Adolf Hitler. No, not really. See, down there, guys? There's like a little band playing or something. But, that's really it. There's a cannon up there, too. That's it, guys. I'll get some more photos and stuff. Oh, yeah. There's the bridge over there, too. Yep. Well, that's it for us today, guys. Well, I'll get back to you whenever there's something new. And bye, guys. Hey, guys. This is Lego Man 1, and I am back with you guys. And, well, I'm just walking up to one of the block houses. I think you already saw this video over here. Yeah, you already saw that. So, just walking down. And, it's going to show you around a little bit more. There's the village greens and just the schoolhouse and everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of Mackinac, but I'm going to get more videos of Fort Mackinac and everything else. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that one video where they're all drilling and marching. Sorry about I didn't get any film of them firing except the firing demonstration. So that's really it. So that's it, guys. See ya. This is Lego Army Man 1 and there's a plane taking off at Mackinac Island. I am zoomed in, Mom. And that was just my mother, but look at a plane is taking off at Mackinac Island. Hopefully you can see it. It's so cool. And there's another one coming. Ready? Coming. And there goes that one. Okay guys, I'll see you later. And we will get back at Fort Holmes. Hey guys, it's Lego Army Man 1. And I am at Fort Holmes. Mackinac Island. But it was destroyed by lightning, I heard of. So we're just going to go through the gate. It's still here. It was not burned down. And we're going to just go up here. And then up on these logs. And you can see that it was rebuilt, but it was destroyed. If you actually been to Mackinac Island, then you could actually see for yourself. And we're just gonna walk the whole perimeter of the fort. Just look at that view though. Guys, wow. It's really spectacular. It's just great. Yep. Me and my mom are here on a trip. So I will actually walk this whole walk. But I wonder, well, I heard there were some ghost stories in, I never heard of any ghost stories yet at Fort Mackinac, so that's good, but I haven't heard any, ghost stories. I only heard ghost stories of a little bit in the town. Haven't heard any ghost stories about, Fort Holmes. Haven't heard any ghost stories of some other places, but I heard that there were some ghost stories in the Grand Hotel. But I'm not staying in the Grand Hotel, I'm staying on the mainland, I'm just here for the day. So, this is cool. Pretty dang cool. So you can still see the old ones, but it was burned down. The main block house burned down. I think there were some wood pilings too that was burned down too. I don't really remember any pictures of Fort Holmes. So I'll have to find some pictures, but when I find some pictures, I'll probably tell you that there were wood, but if you tell me in the comments, then that's fine. But we're almost around the whole side. This would actually be a pretty cool defensive position, because you're on top of this is the highest point on Mackinac, and this would actually be a pretty dang good spot, because some reasons. And then we are back to here. Well, yeah, the gatehouse is still here. That's a good thing. But nothing else. There used to be a blockhouse right there. Let me walk to it. There used to be a blockhouse right here. Right here. You can actually see it all around. If you actually were here, you can see that there's like a whole square, and that's where the blockhouse was. But actually, yeah, guys, here's Fort Holmes again. All it is just a dome with a bunch of wood, and then the main thing. So, thank you for watching, guys. Well, I get back to you when we actually go to Fort Mackinac. So, I can't wait to go there. We're going to it tomorrow, so I'll get some more footage of that later. So, see you guys later. Bye. Here's a little bit more of the view. That's it, guys. Bye, guys.